20 years ago, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas released on the PlayStation 2. This is my original copy. Let's talk about it. I don't even know where to begin with this game. I could start talking about its accolades. I can talk about how big it was. I can talk about how much it changed in the industry, but there's tons of videos going to be covering that today and already have in the past by people much more educated on the topic than I am. That being said, I'm just going to be talking about my personal experience with the game and some stories I want to share about it and maybe anything else that seems to be fun to come to mind about it. 20 years ago, this game released. I remember when I first saw a trailer for the game, which I can only assume it was before it came out. Uh, I had to have been like 3 years old because I'm 23 right now. I mean, unless they were showing it like a couple of months after the game release, which is possible. Not saying it's impossible, but I really doubt it because from what I hear from my brother, he says that my dad was looking at Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on the internet and was excited to get the game and all that kind of stuff. So I really doubt that. Now it's not impossible. I could have seen it when I was 4, but around 3 to 4, but I'm pretty sure I was 3. Any case, I remember seeing it, and it was actually. I'm going to try to show the trailer here, no music because I don't want to get copyright claimed. But I remember being a kid. It was kind of dark in the room. I would assume it was like night sometime, but I could be wrong. I was only 3 years old, so I mean the memory's kind of fuzzing away. But I remember sitting there or being in there, and I remember looking at the TV, and it was one of those big fat those big fat big screen TVs. I'll try to put a picture on the screen so for people out there who don't know. Those TVs that were like fucking humongous. But no, I remember seeing it and it was just a trailer with just it started like welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games and it showed just CJ doing a bunch of shit just like he's like doing so much crap. And then at the end of the trailer it shows him with two guns walking away from an explosion. It's like whoa. And 3-year-old me is like, what the fuck? What is this game? What I mean, not even what is this game? What is this? Right? And then at the end, it's like Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas. Man, that was an amazing like first memory of the game. At least that I can still remember. Who knows if I seen it earlier than that? But that's like the earliest I can remember of it. Now I don't know exactly when my dad got the game. I would assume he got the game release date, but I don't know. I wasn't there, and I'm actually gonna probably ask him. All right, just talked to my dad. He said that he did likely get it the day it came out because it was a big deal, and I'm sure he did too. And man, this game changed my life in so many ways. I mean, it shaped the person I kind of am right now, in a sense. I mean, it's really big in my life. It's very impactful. In some ways, you could say that's not a great thing, you know. I mean, but if you actually play the game, like it's not a lot of bad lessons in there. The main character in the game, he fights against people who uses drugs, which is possibly a little part of the reason why I'm not really a drug user like that. I don't think it's cool. Maybe possibly because of this game. And yes, I was playing this game very young. Another cherished memory of mine that is because of this game, or at least due in part because of this game, is I remember being I had to be between 3 and 5. I remember, San Andreas it was just really hot. Everybody was playing it. Everybody wanted to play it. I would watch my dad play the game, and I was like, "This game is so cool," and I really, 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 really wanted to play it. I don't know if I ever got a chance to before that point, but I know I just really wanted to play it for whatever reason. So I remember my dad went to sleep. I went into their room, and my mom was up though. I mean, I went over and asked her, where the game was, and she said it's on your dad's nightstand. So I was walking over there to go get it, and I was gonna go pick it up. For a second, before I grabbed it, I was like, "Nah, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do it. It's not right." And I just didn't do it. I didn't pick it up. I didn't do it. So I was just gonna leave. And just as I was about to leave, my dad, he woke up, which I think he was already up, but he woke up and he was just like, he asked me if I took the game, and I was like, no, and he was just proud of me. I don't know the exact words he said, but I just remember that he was proud of me for not taking the game, and that made me feel good. It was a nice moment. Um, and I do want to say, just to add some extra context, I don't think that my dad was actually asleep, and I think my mom may have told me to go grab the game, maybe just because he was like, he maybe said to her, hey, let's just see what he's gonna do, and hey. if that happened or if it didn't happen doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's still a moment that I feel kind of define me as a person, or at least show some character traits about me. But yeah, no, eventually though, I was able to play the game, and I played it a lot. I played it with my sisters and brothers. So many memories playing with them, being with my brother, watching him play the game and beat the game. We found the little two-player station and we were playing the game together. I remember, again, like I said, my brothers and sisters we were all in the same room and playing this game and taking turns. If you die, it's my turn, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then, me and my brother writing down cheat codes and putting them in the game. And to the point, it actually got to the point that we knew so many cheat codes for the game, we started to know some by heart. I still know some of the cheat codes in this game by heart to this day. And I haven't had to put them in since I played on the PlayStation 2. Or, sorry, since I've had to play on the PlayStation 2. Because I still play the PlayStation 2 to this day, but I don't have to. But the game was just, it was a big, huge part of my life. And then eventually, when the Xbox 360 came out, I was still playing this game. I was playing this game all the way up until, I would say, like, constantly. I'm saying, like, this would be literally be the main game I played. You know what I'm saying? Up until, like, from, like, 2004 to 2000 fucking, at least 2008. At least 2008. It was that long I was playing this one game. And I'm not even saying I didn't like it after 2008. I still did like it. I can't exactly remember why I stopped playing it as much. I do know that at around 2008, I got on Roblox, which was my first time playing that game. I got on Roblox. I enjoyed that a lot. I know that like it was had to have been like 2008 around the time my brother got an Xbox 360. If not next year, he got it. And also I know that that's when GTA 4 came out. Which funny story about GTA 4 I want to tell too, but I'm saving that for a GTA 4 video. Today is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas video. But yeah, no, but that's kind of around that time. That's why I kind of faded out from San Andreas. Still liked it. I didn't have an issue with it, but I kind of was playing it less. I went from playing it like every other day, right, to playing it like fucking every other month, maybe. Like it just kind of kept fading away till eventually I just wasn't playing it anymore, which was probably like 2010, right? I kind of fizzled away from San Andreas, but I still loved it in my heart. I still thought about it a lot. I just wasn't playing it as actively as I was. It came to a point where I lost my PlayStation 2. Couldn't find a way to play San Andreas. I had lost the game too, so I didn't know where the game was. I didn't know what a PlayStation 2 was. So it went from I went from a time where I was just playing it every other month or whatever. I think around that time is when I lost them, so I was just not able to play them at all. So I went from thinking about I want to play San Andreas today. I want to play San Andreas today. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it, but I couldn't find it. So I just eventually just stopped looking after a couple of months. And then yeah, time went on, and I would say around like 2000 fucking. I had to say it was around like 2015, maybe 14, possibly. I did get a copy of San Andreas on the 360. And I also got a version of it on the iPad. Those versions were really shitty, but I played them. But they were shitty as hell, but I did play them. Fucking shitty versions. I hated them. But I'll talk about that later. I remember finding out that San Andreas was on PC. I kind of always, like, not always knew that, but I would say, like, since, like, 2012, I knew that San Andreas was on PC. I've never been a PC, like, a big PC gamer. I didn't even know, like, console games came out on PC until I was, like, fucking 12. All right, but yeah, no. Eventually, I found out that San Andreas was on PC, so I had to get it. I can't exactly remember how I got to get it. I think I may have just saved up money somehow, or asked somebody. But eventually, I did get the game though, and I got it on PC, and it was fucking shit. It was not the way I remembered it, and I was like, this is all wrong. Everything is not right, you know. And if it was any other game, I probably would have been like, yet my memory of it has faded or something. My nostalgia is blinding me. This game was never good. But because this game was so big in my life, and because I had such a good memory of it, I knew that no, something's not right. Something is not fucking right. There's something wrong with this game. There's something not right with it. So I just was like, okay, this version of it on the PC sucks. And I just dropped it and I was like, fuck it. I gotta find a way to play it on PlayStation 2. But at that time, PlayStation 2s were just out of my price range to get, and a controller for the PlayStation 2 was just too much for me at that time. So I just kind of left it there. I was, still celebrating San Andreas in my little ways. I think I might even be showing some videos here that I made around the time where I was referencing San Andreas.
But Shut up! Kanye's been really in this political thing.
And oh no, I ain't got time for this shit.
But yeah, no, I would say up until like 2017 or 16, I finally found a way to mod San Andreas on PC and get it to work in like the original game. Thanks to Silence Patch and the downgrader and all that kind of shit. Which, if you don't know how to do that to your PC San Andreas game, do it. It's a way to get the game to work how it originally was supposed to work. And I finally was able to do that, and I did it, and I was able to play San Andreas again. And I was happy, and yeah, I was playing San Andreas on PC, and it was great. It's an awesome experience. Again, I played the hell out of that. I play that shit since then. I've been playing San Andreas every other month, and if not every other day when I have time. But since 2016, because it's always been on every single PC I get, I have San Andreas on there. San Andreas is my go-to game. It will always be my go-to game. Always. It's just it's great. It's fun. There's so many things to do in it, and I'm sure I haven't even done everything in it. That's how big the game is too. And just I will say this though. Eventually I did find the PlayStation 2, and eventually I did find this copy. I know that when I did find these, I played it or I tried to play it or at least started it up because at the time I didn't have a controller for it. Actually, I remember asking for a PlayStation 2 controller for my 17th or 16th birthday, something like that around that time, maybe even 15th, I don't know, but I remember asking for that and I got a PlayStation 2 controller, but I think that controller was broken too, or it wasn't broken or something was like wrong with it. Maybe it was like one of those like shitty ass Game Shark controllers or whatever. I'm probably not even saying it right. Probably not Game Shark, but some other brand that's shitty. I'll put it on the screen. But that controller wasn't working either. And I appreciate the person who got it for me, by the way. I'm not any slack on that person. I'm just saying that it didn't. It factually just didn't work. So, but I remember, like I was so close to playing San Andreas again, but I just couldn't do it. So, again, I had to wait. So again, like I said, I don't know if that was before or after the PC or before I got that version, but whatever the hell. But eventually, though, I was able to play it on PlayStation 2 again, even though I did enjoy playing it on PC. So I was just playing it on PlayStation 2 was more of a novelty than anything. But still, I mean, I still did it. And plus, as you might be able to tell, I'm a game collector. You can't see all my games and all my stuff, but I am a game collector. I was like that back then. I was getting into that mode, so I probably was doing it after I had the PC version because I like to fucking like have physical media and I like to fucking actually for collecting purposes to have a PlayStation 2, have a PlayStation 2 controller, have a game, a copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I really like that. But yeah, no, that was just a great time. But let's for a minute here. Let's talk about this one thing real quick. That San Andreas still holds up to this very day. It is still one of the best free roaming games of all time. It is still the best. Its shooting to me is tight as hell. Its driving to me is great. I don't think in terms of gameplay alone, not graphics, in terms of gameplay alone, this game has really yet to be topped. There's games that is on the same level, but topped, not really. Saints Row was a great game, has some great mechanics, has some great stuff you can do in it, but in reality, it didn't really fucking blow San Andreas out of the water. It was on the same level. Grand Theft Auto 4, another game by the same company. Graphics wise, yes, it blew San Andreas out of the water, but in a lot of ways, they took many steps back from San Andreas. So it was at the very minimum on the same level, if not a little bit lower. And then GTA 5. GTA 5 came very close. I should have made a 10-year anniversary video for GTA 5, but I will do something for that eventually because that game is also it has an interesting story with me. But GTA 5, it was a cool game. I actually went over this in my GTA video, which I'll have at the end of the video here if you want to check that out. But GTA 5 though, it was a cool game. It did a lot of cool stuff. And for its time, but was it better than the games before it? No. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you GTA 5 was better than San Andreas. It just isn't. In graphics, yes, but everything else it just isn't. I mean, it's just so much stuff they regressed on in both 4 and 5 that just I can't sit here and tell you with a straight face that it's 100% better than San Andreas. It just isn't. And on top of those games that are Grand Theft Auto 5 and 4 and all that kind of stuff, on top of that, not Watch Dogs, sorry, that game sucks dick. Cyberpunk 2077, even that game, which just came out like 2 years ago or something like that. It's a game that just came out in the current modern day, and it doesn't have features that San Andreas has. San Andreas. And then people were comparing it to GTA Vice City even. It didn't even have features that GTA Vice City had. So again, San Andreas really, when it came out, it set a standard in the industry. Sorry, it didn't set a standard. No, it it raised the bar. It raised the bar very high, so high that people have not yet even fucking passed it. In like 20 years, people haven't passed it. So I mean, that's amazing. And again, for me, personally, for me, I feel like the game is still it still holds up to this very day. I feel personally it still holds up. I feel like somebody today could play this game and be like, this is an old game, other than the graphics. And I feel like the graphics is not even that big of a deal. Like, I mean, yeah, it looks old, but I mean, now retro graphics are in style now. So I mean, you could always be like, oh yeah, this game just came out today and it just has retro graphics. I bet you if they did that, a lot of people would believe you, especially if you showed them it on PC. On PC with a couple of mods, San Andreas looks like a brand new game. Now, that being said, though, we have to talk about this. It's very sad, but we have to speak of it, which is every re-release of San Andreas since the 360 and PlayStation versions has been shit. Has been absolute dog shit in every single way. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And the first re-releases of them on a 360 and iPad and all that kind of stuff, they were very bad. They broke the game in a lot of ways. A lot of people detail why these versions were bad, so I'm not gonna go so much into detail with it. I'm just gonna let you know they sucked. And up until like 2000, I want to say 21, they were still trying to sell these fucking games, and people bought them. And when they bought them, they were experiencing San Andreas, but a fucked up version of it. It's like they weren't getting the best version of the game. They weren't even getting a standard version of the game. They were getting a version of the game with its legs and arms broken. You feel what I'm saying? Like they were getting a version of the game that was had broken legs and broken arms and brain damage. It wasn't San Andreas, and I feel bad that a whole generation of kids probably had to play that version of San Andreas and thought, "Wow, that was what GTA was like? Y'all really had it tough, huh?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's funny though, people that played that version of the game still somehow like San Andreas, which is fucking surprising to me. They still fucking even see it as better than GTA 5. I mean, albeit some of them mentioned that yeah, it could use some fixes, but it's funny, the fixes that they're saying it could use, it was already alright. They actually broke the game when they re-released it. Those re-releases were so shit, but honestly, whatever. You know, hey, some people like it. It's some people's cup of tea. It's just not mine, right? At least that's what I thought, but it really is broken though. But then 2021 rolls around, or 2020, I think it's one of those years. The definitive edition of the GTA trilogy, which includes San Andreas, was coming out. And admittedly, at first, I was excited. When I first saw the first, I think, teaser or trailer, I was excited. I was happy. I was like, wow, this is great. Rockstar's actually, for once, celebrating a game in its past by not only re-releasing it, but remastering it, seemingly. And in good ways, it seems. They were going to add a weapons wheel from GTA 5. They were going to update the graphics. They were going to, do all this great shit that sounded really awesome at the time. And then more trailers started to come, and more word about it started to come. And I realized this is going to be shit. This is going to be fucking horrible. They're going to fucking destroy the legacy of these amazing games, which includes San Andreas, which pissed me off. Really, it highly, to the highest of high, pissed me off. And on top of that, which just added insult to injury, was that the same mobile company that made the broken versions of the game, the people that are responsible for making that broken version, were again contracted to do this new definitive edition, which the community has now labeled the defective edition, which is fitting. The games eventually came out, and as expected, they were shit. Even worse than last time, though, because now this version says it's definitive, and on top of that, it just fucking fucks a lot of shit up. And it actually makes the game, it looks worse now, too. So, yeah, thanks to this, it's an even bigger stain on the legacy of these amazing games. People that haven't gotten a chance to experience San Andreas, the younger generation, and just people in general who never got a chance to play it, I feel like it's sad because if they ever decide to play it, they're likely to play the definitive edition. Sorry, the defective edition. Sorry. It really hurts that's going to be the experience they're going to get from San Andreas. My hopes though is that eventually one day Rockstar actually releases a version of the game that is just at the very minimum, just how it was on the PlayStation 2. That's it. I'm not asking for it to be updated graphics. I'm not asking for it to change a bunch of shit. It can literally just be the same game. And just please give us the option to map the controls. That's all I ask for. The same game from the PlayStation 2 in 2004, 20 years ago, which is now considered a retro game. Just give us the same game from 20 years ago with the option to map the controls. That's it. Even if they have to remove all the music from the game, if they have to remove all the music from the game, whatever. It's fine. Just give us a way to play the game how it was originally intended to be played. That's all I'm asking. That's it. And I'm saying it's not for me. Even though I would buy it. By the way, if they put this out, even though I have so many versions of San Andreas that I actually own, even though I have all those, I would still buy this other version, even though I don't need it. I would still buy it just to support San Andreas, even though they're owned by a fucking shitty company that used to make good games. Which we gotta talk about Rockstar one day in depth, but let's not get there. Let's keep this celebration. Let's go back to being positive with this celebration today. All right, everybody. I didn't mention this. I forgot to mention this, which is San Andreas. Another reason why San Andreas is also super duper special to me, amongst all the other reasons, is it has 3 cities in the game, right? And one of the 3 cities in San Andreas is Las Vegas. So me seeing that as a kid, it just really put a smile on my face. Anytime Las Vegas gets mentioned in gaming for me, especially as a kid, it really made me smile. It really made me very happy, and it all started here because this was the first game I ever found out about or ever knew about that had my city in it. On top of the fact my dad's talking about how accurate the game is to the time frame and whatnot, and me loving the '90s just even more so made me love this game. So and I gotta say this. Revolutionary game in so many ways and just inspired me in so many ways and changed the kind of person I would become in my life partially because of this game for a lot of reasons. Like, for example, in this game, you can go to the gym. What other fucking game do you know of where you can go to the gym? Fucking people are texting me. Don't text me right now. I'm talking about San Andreas. No, look. What other game can you go to the gym though? Go to the gym and gain muscle and get bigger. Get bigger. You know what I'm saying? That inspired me as a kid to work out. Of course, my dad already worked out anyways, so that also has some influence on that too. But I'm just saying, I mean, come on. Me coming from a dad who works out, right? Who thought I already thought that was cool in my mind. But on top of that, I'm also playing a game where you work out and your character literally gets fucking like people literally look at him different. He's also stronger and can do more shit because of that. Imagine what that would do to a kid's mind. It inspired me to be a better person, a better man, a better guy in general, and be more like CJ. Even though, of course, there are bad aspects, which thankfully I have parents that taught me, obviously what the bad aspects were. But I think for the most part, San Andreas ain't a bad influence. It really isn't. It has so many good things in there. So many good things to show a person how to be a man. You feel me? Again, going to the gym. What other game can you go to the gym, get bigger? And you can actually get fat in this game too. Like you can actually get fat, get skinny, get buff, lose your muscle, all that kind of shit. Very important. So you actually have to keep up with that shit. You have to be consistent, just how you got to be consistent in the gym in real life. Now, I mean, of course, it's a game from 2004, so they couldn't go as in depth as they probably wanted to, but it was very cool. And I'm gonna say this too. There's another feature in the game that's connected with the gym feature, which is having a girlfriend. Having a girlfriend. Unlike the previous Grand Theft Auto games and the Grand Theft Auto games to come after, right? Other than 4, you could actually have a girlfriend. You can get a girlfriend, and there will be actual like partners to you in the game. They'll fucking like there's a girl in the game. Your person, if somebody attacks you, she'll pull out a gun and start shooting them for you. She'll do drive-bys with your person. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the girls would. Some girls wouldn't. They actually gave the girls different personalities. Like there's one girl in the game who's a police officer. You get with her, and let's say your person gets into some shit. If you call her up, she'll get the police to get off you. So it wasn't like, I mean, like, even though for me as a kid, when I used to play the game, I was like, oh my god, I got a girlfriend. Oh my god, I can't wait to see my girlfriend in the game, of course. But I was a little kid, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, beyond just that, like beyond just that, like there was literally a reason for it in the game. It wasn't just for role playing reasons. It was actually a real reason to have girlfriends in the game because they actually did stuff. They weren't just there because, again, like I said, for the role playing aspect. No, they were actually a part of the game. If you got a girlfriend in the game, it would actually help you out. And you have to decide which girlfriend you want to get. And also, on top of that, too, all the girls like your character for different reasons. For example, if your character was too fat, some girls wouldn't like you, but other girls would love you. You know, if your character was too muscly, some girls wouldn't like you. Other girls would love you. If your character was too skinny, again, you understand where I'm going with this. I think in a certain way, I think that San Andreas also helps me in my dating life, you know, because it showed me that, you know, everybody wants somebody different. Whether you're skinny, whether you're fat, whether you're muscled up, whether you're just, you know, in the middle and whatever. There's people that want you for different reasons. Also, people that want you because you have certain skills or because, you know, you talk a certain way. Because also, by the way, in this game too, it had RPG elements. So that means like your person could have what's it called, sex appeal, which sex appeal is a lot of things in one. The things that add into your person's sex appeal is like your clothes. I think your gun rank goes into it too, and how you drive, and so much thing that goes into sex appeal. Actually, it isn't really fully explained, but I know for sure that clothes is in sex appeal. So there's also certain swag this person's got to wear to get girlfriends too, and also random people on the streets, like your character be walking. Let's just say you've only wore the default outfit in the game, right? If you only wear the default outfit, people wouldn't really comment on what you're wearing, or they'll probably be like, "Oh, that's stupid." Let's say you walk around in a fucking suit. If you're in a fancy area, people are like, "Damn, man, damn, you clean, man, you nice." You know what I'm saying? You fresh. But if you walk around in a suit in the ghetto, you know, you might have some people clown on your character. You might be like, "Oh man, look at this dude, man. He think he better than us." Or they might be like, "Oh, look at he going to a job interview or some shit." It would change based off the area you were in. You feel me? This game had or has so much detail, so many little details, and I can't do this game justice in one video. I couldn't. But again, like I said, there's many people out there who've already made videos that go very much in depth about what this game has in it, what this game did, how this game was, the impact of it already. I'm trying to just keep this more to just my personal experiences with it, but I have to say something about those because those parts of the game really, for me, a kid that went to online school his entire life and spent a lot of time inside to play a game where I'm playing as a black guy like myself. On top of that, I get to play as him and I can change his clothes. I can get him skinny or fat. I can get girlfriends for him. I can have people try to insult him and I can get into fights with him. You know, I can go out and hang out with his friends in the game. Like for me, for a kid like that, a game like that, I would say it really helped me from not becoming what a lot of people expect of me, which is this fucking weird ass socially awkward person. I think that this game really helped me avoid that because it showed me like what regular human interactions are kind of like. You know what I'm saying? What it kind of is to be in the regular world. Because if I went to regular school, I would have had, I wouldn't say experiences like this game, but I would have been around other people to talk to other people. But a lot of my upbringing, I wasn't around other kids other than my fucking siblings, which are all, they're all at least 5 years older than me at the very least. It helped me out a lot. It helped me out a whole lot. And I learned a lot from it. I know you're probably out there thinking like, what the fuck? That's so lame. That's so stupid. That's so ridiculous, man. And also, you're weird. But I don't care if you guys think I'm weird because, again, that's something I learned from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Fuck what y'all think. All right, I'm happy being me. I'm happy being me and I'm happy doing what I'm doing. If you don't like what I'm doing, you can suck my dick. I want to make sure I make this clear too, by the way, which is I'm saying I've learned things from San Andreas, but that is not to take away anything that my parents have taught me. You know what I'm saying? Or even to say that they neglected me and left me to a screen to teach me stuff because they didn't. That's not the case. They taught me stuff and they were very much there in my life and this just added on top of that. You know, it's just extra learning. You feel what I'm saying? So let me make that clear right now. My parents were 100% there for me. In fact, I would probably be in a bad place if I got 100% of my lessons from this game. And that's not me saying there's something wrong with it, but you do need parental guidance. If you love San Andreas, please share your thoughts about it down below in the comments. But yeah. San Andreas, happy 20th anniversary, and yeah, peace.